Well, good morning, everyone. I'm recording this in my backyard today. I haven't gotten up to the church yet. Just wanted to let you know how much I miss seeing you all and visiting with you. And I miss being up there in Wickenburg with you all, too. I want to thank everyone who sent cards and letters and lovely comments and called with just such encouraging words after the death of my father. I was grateful to have the support of everyone at St. Albans, so thank you. Today is Maundy Thursday, and if you picked up a booklet for Holy Week, there's a little service in there with the readings from Maundy Thursday, and I thought maybe I would provide a little mini sermon for you to follow along with or add to that meditation. I hope that that this will help you in your worship today as we figure out how to do this by ourselves. One other thing, I hope that you're following Deacon Deborah's Stations of the Cross. She's having those posted on YouTube as well. I've sent out the links in our new newsletter, our weekly newsletter, which is St. Albans Announcements. So if you've gotten that, you've got the links. But if you need help, you can call the church office or you can call Deacon Deborah directly. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with our message today. I'm trying to figure out how to get me lined up here so I can see what I'm saying and I'm not too distracting in the video. Okay, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Today is Maundy Thursday. Have you ever wondered what that actually means besides the Thursday before Easter? Well, the word Maundy is derived from the Latin word mandatum. It means to command, and it refers to Jesus' commandment to the disciples, "Love one another as I have loved you." Maundy Thursday commemorates the Last Supper, which Christians consider the institution of the Holy Eucharist, also known as the Lord's Supper or Communion. It's described in Luke's Gospel, chapter 22. At the Last Supper with his disciples, Jesus breaks bread and says, "This is my body." Then he pours wine and says, "This is my blood." And finally, he asks the disciples to do this in memory of me. The Last Supper is derived from Jesus' Jewish heritage and his observance of a Jewish holiday. The Last Supper was a Passover Seder, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Passover is the Jewish festival of commemorating the exodus of the Jews from Egypt when they left so quickly they weren't able to leave time to allow the bread to rise. Jesus and the disciples are eating unleavened bread at the famous Last Supper. In the Gospel of John, there's a story of Jesus washing the feet of his disciples before everyone sat down at the Last Supper. John chapter 13, verses 1 through 17, mentions Jesus performing this act. Specifically in verses 14 through 17, he instructs the disciples, "If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you should do as I have done to you. Most assuredly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is he who sent greater than he who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them." Following the customs of the times, it was not necessary for Jesus to clean the disciples' feet, because that would have already happened by a servant when they entered the upper room. It was Jesus' choice to wash everyone's feet himself, to make a point about humble service for others. It was a strange time for the disciples, because they had been arguing over who was the greatest among them while they were waiting for Jesus to arrive. Instead of tending to each other, they were comparing and competing. Then Jesus stepped in to wash their feet, and all the disciples were stunned into silence. Peter was profoundly against the Lord washing his feet. But Jesus explained, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." This allowed Peter to accept the humility and the love of Jesus. Many Christians participate in some type of foot washing ceremony on Maundy Thursday. It's a ritual of humility intended to help to cleanse Christians affected by living in a world of sin. Obviously, the purpose of foot washing is to demonstrate care and love of others and to emulate Jesus in everything we do. As long as there are genuine emotions behind that act of kindness, this service to others will likely bring feelings of humility and empathy. It is actually a beneficial act for both the foot washer and the foot washee. Personally, I find it a lot easier to be the foot washer, to give kindness, and to help others. It's a challenge for me to accept an act of kindness, to allow someone to wash my feet. But if we are going to truly emulate Jesus, it's important we learn to humble ourselves and accept help when offered and ask for help when needed. To do so allows others to demonstrate love. Quite frankly, this is equally as important as giving love, showing kindness, and offering help, being able to graciously accept that when it's offered to you. Scriptures remind us that we are loved unconditionally, and we are worthy of that love. At times, we may feel the complete opposite and hold ourselves back from allowing kindness to be offered to us or letting our friends tend to our needs. Particularly in the midst of these strange times where we are told we're vulnerable, but we might not feel that way. Before telling someone we're fine, we don't need anything, maybe we should take a moment and consider allowing others to be of service to us. Living and acting as Jesus did will not only make our spirits full, but it might help us to be a little more receptive to kindness. It might help us to be a little more humble and grateful too. Until we get together again, God bless you all and keep you safe.